morning, everyone. I'm back again, Pratna, your host.
And I'm Manita.
Today is a very special episode because I think we ventured outside medicine for today. And today we have with us guests from technology field, and I think their insights would be very, very helpful. So welcome to this episode of the podcast Behind White Coat. I would like to start with the introduction. So let's introduce our guests.
Sure. Hi, Pratna. I'm originally from Kanchanpur, Nepal, and currently I'm studying economics and computer science at New York University, Abu Dhabi. And I'm a part of MedLife, and we got to know each other through that. So, yeah, I'm really excited for this talk. Thank you for having me.
The next person I'd like to introduce is Anish Tai. So, Anish Tai, could you introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Anish. I'm currently outside of Nepal in US. I did my undergraduate in computer science and I'm currently working full time as a software engineer here. Looking forward to a wonderful podcast. Thanks for having me.
I think today we have a group of diverse people, a bunch of very motivated people, and I'm already excited. We also have some other guests. We already had him in the podcast before as well. He's Mahendra. Many of you might know him. Mahendra, would you like to tell more about you?
Hello, my name is Mahendra. So I'm a final year medical student from National Medical College. So I've already been here and it's a great feeling being here and sharing my stories. So I'm back again, guys. So I'm going to bore you with few more things. So stay tuned and thank you for having me.
Thank you, Mahendra. So we have Bhuvan as well. So without saying anything more about him, I would like to request him to introduce himself.
Hello everyone, I am Bhuvan Giri. I am originally from Bajra, Nepal, and I am a fourth year medical student from Institute of Medicine. And I have been connected with you all from the MedLife. Thank you for having me here.
This has been sort of a meeting of MedLife in itself. Like we all are connected to MedLife. And I think first we need to hear something about MedLife as well, because we have been hearing this word in everyone's introduction. Anyone can go, tell us something about MedLife, how it started, the stories behind MedLife Stories.
So MedLife Stories is now a peer learning platform as people know it. But initially, it had conceptualized as a platform where medical students can share their stories and the stories they find in words about patients and all those stories because people need to understand that. So it was initially formed with that concept, but later on it has expanded with different people coming from different backgrounds and different medical students putting their ideas in front. So I think now MedLife Stories is like an institution where we foster other student-led initiatives as well, and we promote medical education. We try to make it more interactive, more engaging, where students connect to informal medical education and the crevices in the curriculum. We try to fill those. We try to engage in student communication, and we try to nourish all the student-led initiative, and we try to give whatever we have from the student level. I think MedLife Stories is that tiny womb where students can come out of their colleges to hang out and to just make the learning process more playful. So I think that's the definition of MedLife Stories.
That was like wonderful to hear, Mahendra. And I think as a team, MedLife Stories also holds a personal value to each and every one of us as well. So we all have our different stories, like what MedLife has taught us over the lockdown. I think it has given us something to look forward to. And as for me, MedLife started as a peer learning platform as well. And it was my first lecture that I gave to all medical students, and that was very nerve-wracking, but I actually explored the idea about how I wanted to learn. So I just shared my personal story because I think each one of us here has their own personal stories about what struck them about MedLife. So I think we should hear that from each and every one of you as well. So anyone wants to share that, they can go forward and share.
I think Manda has told everything about the story behind and the vision behind this concept. But let me just start like how I looked at MedLife at first. So I used to see this post from Mahinder on Facebook about like there's like lecture series or something like that, and then I thought it's like a platform where students just come and present the topics they're interested in. And I wasn't like completely sure about the idea behind it at first, but now not anymore. I guess I have some idea about what we are doing and what we want. And yeah, and now when I realize like it's a platform where students are trying to give a kind of quality education through peer learning, I was really excited for it. And I'm not from medical background now, but I have some like experience of going through that burden of preparation of medical exams. So I think I truly understand the medical education in Nepal, which has been so theoretical and traditional way of teaching. So bringing something like that, where students like try to present their own experience of going through like learning and a topic which is so practical, I think such platform will be really, really beneficial for anyone who is starting this medicine journey. Thank you.
Okay, I can add something. Okay, basic idea of MedLife Stories, how the name came. We had different name before, and we changed after a couple of weeks. We finally came to the MedLife Stories. Basically, we are fed up with the education system of Nepal. Like we have to cram everything, informations, and the only thing we remember were the stories of the peoples, not the numbers and data. So finally, we thought, why not we could give the name of MedLife Stories, where every students, teachers, and different people can share their stories of their life, how they cope with their medical stories and other things. So we basically gave name to MedLife Stories. And after that, we thought to start from like publishing flyers. Then after we thought to do a lecture sessions from the tutors. But slowly with the change, we have come to this phase where we have now form a peer learning. I think from this platform, each of the students, teachers, and tutors, seniors can share their stories. And I'm very happy that we'll be adding more as we continue through this journey.
These guys have already explained what MedLife Stories is all about, but I'd like to add from my perspective. So I think I'm the most recent addition to the team, MedLife team. So I think like a few weeks back, someone messaged me saying, Mahendra and Aman, they wanted to talk to me regarding sort of a project. And so we had a chat and Mahendra filled me in about MedLife Stories. Basically, he described how they were trying to make learning, especially the medical field, more accessible. Because right now, I mean, as the guys have already said, nothing is like documented, not accessible easily online. So I liked quite something about that because, even recently in the light of the pandemic, we have seen how far our education system is, right? The schools closed down, but we didn't have the actual infrastructure or the resources to go online, like try to learn something on our own. So that sort of is a great idea, and that's what pulled me into MedLife Stories. And he also said, you are from a tech background, we're having difficulties trying to manage some resources, trying to store these data, make organization better. We need a website, things like that. So me being from a tech background, saw the opportunity, liked the idea, so joined in, and hopefully we'll have a great time working together.
I feel so glad to have known all of you. Like, I feel that whenever I'm in this group, there is a vibe of positive attitude. And I feel like going back to childhood, when we are children, we feel that we can change the world, we can be the heroes of the world, right? And I feel like we're trying to do something like this. We are having wild dreams. We're thinking of changing something with our little. It's so amazing having that zeal, that enthusiasm, because it's a voluntary work, and the constant motivation to work has to be your inner inspiration to work with this, right? So I'm very glad to have known all of you and to be in this team.
Okay, guys. So I just wanted to ask you all, like you all are from medical background. So how does it feel to be a medical student? Like you guys are trying to bring something change in the way of learning medicine. So how does it feel to a medical student, and what are the struggles that you guys went through? Can you just share about it so that Anish and I have some idea about medical education in Nepal?
I think looking at medical education in Nepal, it could be personal and organizational as well. So personally, when we talk about it personally, I think it has not been a wonderful journey for me, because the way I started medical school was to explore the dynamics and to actually go into the scientific knowledge that medicine holds. And I thought I'd be exploring the newer advances, the newer technologies, the molecular biology that's coming up. But that was almost non-existent when we studied biochemistry as well. And only thing we were reading was what we read in name. Like, if you had gone through like medical preparation, then I think it was not different what we started in grade 11 and 12 and first year as well. So there were no advances, and everyone was just focused on passing exams, and that was what really bogged me down about medicine. And I had a very difficult time actually kind of compiling and understanding what is happening through medical school, and then actually finding an escape as to see where most feel alive. And that is why I have been with MedLife Stories since the inception as well, because this is my safe place where I can actually learn medicine the way I thought I would learn when I was in first year. So it's pretty hectic. It's always exams, and you don't even understand why you're studying these stuffs. And when you don't have that, then I think it becomes pretty difficult to study what you're actually studying, because you don't know why you're studying it. It might not be relevant as well. So yeah, it has not been a wonderful journey. Yes, it is a lot of fun if we find your own way to navigate through the clinics, but the university teaching has not been good for me. This is my personal opinion. Others might have different.
Like Pratna, personally for me, it has been very hectic, struggling phase. But slowly I have been coping, and now I have started enjoying my medical studies. For the first 2 years, like it's like going to +2 colleges where you carry a bunch of books and you go to, like, you sit in a class of 75 students and come back to home. It's like going to colleges for first 2 years. Then after you get chance to meet like patients and come to clinical posting, then you get chance to interact with the peoples, listen their stories. I have heard many stories from like very rural place of Nepal where they lack even smallest thing and come to visit. They don't have like knowledge when to go to take the medical facility and end up in like big problems, which can be, I think, if they went in proper time, can be cured with the minimum interventions. So for me, like 2 years were like struggling why I am here. I did not know why I joined the college. I have no ideas what should I do, but slowly it's been nice journey for me. And as said by Pratna, I had big hope like I could do this and that, but when I came into universities there was nothing. We have no good facilities, internet access, libraries, etc. Then we get demotivated every day, but we should keep hope and zeal to continue our studies and enjoy it. I think slowly I am enjoying.
Okay, so I would say that I was really enthusiastic when I entered the medical school because I thought about human anatomy, because I loved biology. But when I came over here and when I started taking lectures, I was really depressed. That's my story. My story started with mild form of, not to say depression, but kind of, expectations hurt while feeling. So after that, there's always, you try to recollect yourself. You try to, okay, I have this passion. How do I do this work properly so that I can treat people better? So I used to go to clinics at 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. We try to learn the language because the language is different here, Birgans. So there's a lot of learning in this process. I've started actually liking the subject because it has a lot of diversity. You get to heal people, you get to communicate with people in their deepest thoughts or deepest secrets. You get to know all of them, and they give everything to you while you are treating. So I love this profession now, but I hate the process because it should be more interactive. And I want to link this to MedLife because there's this boring portion of medicine where you are stacked, you are piled up in one class and you are given didactic lectures. That's the boring portion, and you are not told why you are being taught this. And there's this fun portion where I also got to participate during my medical journey, like conferences or maybe hackathons or some research projects or peer learning tutoring sessions. storytelling, so poem recitation about medicine. So these are the formal arenas which I've loved throughout the journey. So that's my experience regarding medical journey. So Manita, can you say yours?
I think I resonate more with one and somewhat little contrary to what Mahendra said. Like when joining medicine, I had no idea as to what I'm jumping into. I didn't know what we are supposed to read. I didn't even know that we had different subjects like anatomy, physiology, biochemistry. I thought that when I'm going to med school, it will be directly into clinics. We'll start learning how to examine the patient. So I had no idea about what to expect, how things are going to work. For me, to decide consciously that I wanted to do medicine was in my second year of medical school. Before that, I was just following the routine. I was just coming to the lectures, just doing the assignments. I was crying over failing in the test. It was sort of a roller coaster before finding out what actually I wanted to do. And now, as Mohinder said, I have finally found that drive to study to be an efficient clinician later and a medical educator as well. So we are from the medical backgrounds, like four of us here, and you guys being from the tech, have you find it any difficult to understand the ideas and to collaborate? Okay, firstly, I'd like to know from Anil's side.
Okay, so I think there's like two different aspects to it. So first of all, the tech and medicine, well, in general, any other field, right? So me and Aman have kind of general idea about not medicine, I would say, but we know biology, right? We know something, we can relate to some of the things that we have studied in +2. And then you guys know about technology as well. You have used, I don't know, Zoom, Slack, all these things. So there is this connection between tech and, or should I say, tech guys and you guys, right? The med guys. So there's a connection between us at that high level. I guess the sort of the slight confusion might arise when we dig down deeper into the nitty-gritty of implementation, right? So for example, let me say something like storing some data, right? You guys want to store some data. Now, me and Aman, we want to decide how to store that data. The general idea about storing some information is same, right? We want to store it as some name in some database, but the name and how the one information relates to other information, that is defined by the business logic, I would say, right? In this case, it would be medicine. So you guys would be the ones to tell us, hey, we are planning this. This is our vision. We need this idea. We need this feature. And that's how we sort of like put forth a plan, right? To kind of devise a plan to say, oh, okay, our system is currently storing these many information, and now the new information can relate to this in a certain way. So that's how I think sort of it can be a bit difficult in that level, right? Very deep level in the implementation phase, but generally on the surface, I mean, I think we're pretty good. We understand each other. That's what I think.
Yes, we were trying to comprehend like how medicine and technology goes together as well, because we might not understand the interaction that they can have. So I'd like to ask Mohindra, um, how do you think medical education can benefit from technology? Because I think Nepal is just starting to do that. So
Okay, I can say a few things, but I'm not the right guy who can answer the tech wala question. But I'll try to give my idea. So I think everything is changing according to the pandemic. I think pandemic was the time when we had ample time to think over this medical education again and again, and we even attended so many lectures. We sneaked into different university classes and we took classes. So we found that freedom of learning. So I was really interested in some lectures, so I used to go there. I used to stay. If I was bored, I used to just leave and search something in YouTube about my topic. So I think the whole concept of MedLife is giving that liberty in education, because if we have stored all the information somewhere in online space, so we have that freedom So we want to retrieve the information. So we'll just go to the website or all those platforms. So we can integrate, we can make a database from which we can learn. For example, one is finding some rare case in his university, so he can just share the picture with along with the case, of course, after taking the consent and all those things. So we all learn from that. So that is the basic concept, that we are teaching each other through our experiences, because we don't get all those cases or all those experiences all together, but we get in pieces, in small bits, but we can share that information for our learning purposes. So that is one concept. Making a database is only possible through technology. And a part of me is inspired from this startup and doing something for your country, like doing something for community. So that has inspired me to bring all these ideas in online space, because more people get benefited when you start something in online or this space. And you also learn the organizing part, like Anish said about Slack, and these things are tools and we can manage a team. That's important task in while running these organizations. So I think integrating in integration, not only in medical education but also in organizing the teams. So that is my concept about integrating this platform in technology, blending this in technology. So I think I want to ask Aman about what he thinks about joining bits of technology and medicine together.
So I'm not the full tech guy as Anis, but I'm in between. Like I'm doing finance and economics and a little bit of computer science. So I have some idea about what Anis is talking about and what you guys are talking about. So I'm in the between. And how tech and medicine are related. I think everything is going digital and technology is driving it. So it's time for us to do that. And sooner we do, I think the more benefit we'll be able to get. And when I knew about MedLife, my first instinct was, okay, why don't we like end this monopoly of name and vibrant, which are just trying to, I mean, teach so like theoretical way of like tackling questions, and they are trying to teach at the slowest pace of students in a class. If we can like make it more personalized, the journey of starting medicine would be a good one and people will be motivated to do that. So I and Anis are from the same phase. Like we find it so boring and we used to like skip lectures and go play futsals. So if we can make it more personalized, more interactive, I think we will be having more doctors in Nepal. And also like being away from Kathmandu, I realized that anyone who wants to prepare for medicine, they have to come to Kathmandu and attend these institutions. So if we can just make it accessible to everyone, anyone from any part of Nepal can be able to like start looking at what medical education is like. And I think it's a great step towards making learning personalized and interactive.
So I think we've been hearing a lot of personal stories, Bonnie, from Amanda and Anishta as well. I really love the idea about the necessity, how there has been a necessity to come to name and vibrant. And I think they force you for something that you might not be able to, navigate through because you're kind of raw when you enter there, but you're, I think, brainwashed in some sort of way. And if and only if when we were in grade 11 and 12, if someone had actually given a taste of how the actual medical school is like, then maybe we would not have been in this state, like Monita said. Like, so I think, yes, this is a really great idea that we can reach out to grade 11 and 12 students and help them learn in their own personal way. So, since we are sharing personal stories as well, so I think we will want to hear personal stories from Amanda and Anishta as well, because I think we have said our personal stories, but we want to hear your side about medicine or even about like what you're doing now.
So yeah, after plus two, I was also like a regular student in Nepal. Like I wanted to do medicine. I joined name, went for a few lectures. Yeah, really didn't enjoy that. And then I just wanted to like get rid of IUM exam. So I I managed to pass. I mean, I couldn't get the scholarship, but thank God, like I'm good. Like I'm here right now. And Anis and I were really confused what to do next. We don't have any other options. We didn't want to study engineering as well. So Anis like told me about the idea of applying to US colleges, and Anis helped me throughout the process. So where I'm here, I think Anis has played I think important part in my journey. And I and Anis like started preparing for that part of like applying to US colleges. And Anis like went to US on the same year. but I had to like wait and apply next year. So I took 2 year gap, and during that, I got to learn a lot. Like I get to know about myself. I get to know what I really want from my college education, and I applied, and then now I'm studying at New York University. It's in Abu Dhabi. So when I say it like I study in Abu Dhabi, like people are really confused because it's not a place where Nepalese go to study. It's where we come and work. So it's known for migrant worker population. So yeah, right now I'm doing finance and computer science, a little bit of computer science. And I also wanted to like do something in Nepal. Ayan is really like throwing ideas about what to do. I want to start like some startup, working on some projects. Let's see if we manage to make it successful. So I'm not sure about what my goal after graduation is. Like I'm looking for jobs. So hopefully my long-term goal is to come to Nepal and do something. I think MedLife is starting point. I just want to relate like how my education in +2 and how my education here is so totally different. I think there should be a change.
Honestly, would you like to add something about your own experiences and story?
Yeah, so as someone said, like we studied together +2, and after +2, the holy grail of Nepal, medicine. So everybody has to at least give the entrance exam once, and so did we. I went to Vibrant, I think, for 1 or 2 days, and I just didn't like it. It just felt like everybody was so focused on every single problem. Like, okay, I need to get this right. There's a guy sitting right next to me, right? And he's like, oh, if I tell him the answer, he's gonna win me in the entrance exam, right? Sort of like the unhealthy competition. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I just felt that way. And then halfway through the preparation, right, there was a lot of uncertainty. This was the year of the earthquake. Our exams were pushed back a couple of months, I think. And then also there was, the ongoing tensions between Dr. Casey and the private hospital group or something. And then the exams were, that nothing was certain at that point. And I was talking to a lot of the, current medical students, and they were like, it's not as good as they say it is. You have to study this, that, and the other. You have to memorize this, that. So I don't know, didn't feel like that was the right fit for me. So, I mean, I was already invested in giving the entrance, so I gave it. But at that point, it was just, formality. And then after that, my brother especially suggested that, why don't you try giving the SATs, going to US, see what you can do there. And then I tried doing so with someone and gave the SATs, got accepted at the University of New Orleans. I did my 4 years here. It was so different, the entire education system, everything was just so kind of stress-free. If you have your freedom when to choose the classes, you could choose 9 a.m., you could choose 12 a.m. if it's online, obviously, but you could choose 6:30 p.m., whatever, right? You have choices. Then also there's like lots of extracurriculars that you can do. You sort of get like the sense of freedom as well as a sense of huge responsibility at the same time, right? So that was kind of something that I think has made me, the whole experience has made me a better human being. And also, I mean, since I graduated, I got a full-time job as a software engineer. So I would say everything so far so good, has worked out, fine. So yeah, happy about the choice.
He's the only one doing the job, I think.
He's the one making money.
Yes, making
dollars.
Also, I'd like to go back to the point I made, right? So as an outsider, I feel like medical students have to study day and night, right? I don't know, everybody who I talk to say, oh, you got to study for 12 hours, 16 hours, right? All you got to do is study. There's no fun. All you do is study exams. And then how much, I guess I would like to know from your perspective, how much true is that thing, right? So how is the extracurricular as a medical student, and how much time do you guys invest studying?
As like outsider view medical student as a hectic, where student have to like read for like 16, 18 hours a day and pass the exam. But that basically depends upon the like your personality. We have two sets of personality of medical students. One who prepared from the beginning, read every day for exams and continue reading and prepare and give exams, and they score good numbers. And there are like other groups of medical students. They do all the things like partying and going outside, doing extracurricular activities and do everything. And when their exam dates are fixed and the routine is get published, they hide themselves for like 1-2 months and they study for a whole time. Okay, that they have nothing outside activities. They are only concentrated to studies. It's like last minute preparations where you mug up and take all the informations that's required to pass your exam. I'm in between that person. Sometimes I studies from earlier time. Sometimes I just prepare for the last moments. But you have to study because every day is like you get confused when you have like ideas and can connect like every case scenarios and your studies link up with another disease. Then it become easier for you and you love reading medicine. Otherwise, it's like reading biology, like everything you need to mug up like in class 12. There's nothing like no new concept. You don't what is written that you should know. Like you need to know correct dose. You cannot give your whether you like or dislike. You have to give the correct dose to the patient, and that is in my experience we have to read lot than other. That is basic point. Like I've seen like other guys chilling around, but we have less time. But as I said, that depend upon what kind of person you are. That depends upon basically yourself. With these systems, we get fed up, and like this pandemic hit us, and we came to idea of like why not we have to discuss about like within the medical students, and then the concept of MedLife emerged, and we decided like we have to start the peer learning where we can have a fun and get informations and relevant information. Like nowadays we are flooded with informations in Google and everybody can access to it. To get the correct informations at correct time from the correct person and to like get motivated, you get like emotionally cracked, mentally inflexible. Like you don't want to change the systems from your like you have to work hard to change your synapses, like where you are coming from, cramming up informations. Then we started this MedLife Stories to get stories from everyone and get relevant and accurate information so that it can help us to like crack exam, get good knowledge and how to heal the patient more in more empathetic. And that's all I think. And I think other can also share their stories.
Can I add something? Like Onishday shared, dun sa ni personalized studying. Like you get to choose your timing where you want to study, or when you decide when you are more efficient, or like when you go about in your day, if you want to do something else and you have the liberty to do that. I think right from the start when we prepared medicine, a culture of toxic studying was, I think, instilled upon us by even those preparation institutes as well. Like they focused on the idea of waking up at around 3 a.m. early in the morning or studying 16 hours and 18 hours. I think that is what we heard from the stories that they shared. And for someone who's just coming from plus two and who aspires to prepare medicine, just like medicine being the holy grail, like he shared, I think that feeling of having to study and having to work hard gets carried along even when we enter medical school as well. And I think it can be pretty toxic because I've experienced that myself. I don't think it's something of a sense of pride, but medicine should be more humane, I think. We should have more personalized studying routines, personalized plans. We need to explore a lot because we are turning into adults these 5 years of life. And I think these are the most crucial years of life after which you're ready to face the world. And if you spend all of those 5 years only studying books, then I don't think it's going to help you overall. And for 2 years, I've done a lot of toxic studying. And then from third year, I decided that I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I wanted to enjoy life. And after that, I've actually kind of explored my study routine in a more personalized basis. And I think MedLife has helped me do that as well. So, yes, it has been a huge, huge relief for me to come to MedLife to talk with these people and come out of regular studying. And I think the routine classes don't help much. You need to find your own way. And that is what I want to share to everyone who's listening to this podcast. Everyone who thinks that if they work hard, then they're going to go through med school. It's not that. I think you need to explore yourselves these 5 years and turn yourself into a complete human being rather than just someone who is loaded with all those medical books knowledge inside your brain. And it's pretty important to explore other things, enjoy life. So that is what I want to say to all the listeners. So hope this resonates with so many people out there, and for someone who's doing that, I advise not to do that because that's my personal experience.
So we talked a lot about different stuffs, medicine, information technology. Now we have also understood how these two are linked with each other. Since we all of us here are revolved around MedLife, can I talk a little bit more about it? Like, what are the plans? What are the events are going to take place around the year? What's happening right now in the MedLife? Can Mahendra summarize a little bit? And every one of us can share our own views and experiences.
Yes, definitely. So MedLife has come to a state where different people are getting involved, where we have recently oriented college representatives, and they're really motivated, and we as a team are really motivated by their motivation. So that's what I want to say. And another thing, so we are planning to enhance all the student-led initiative. So we want all the ideas to come from college representatives now, because I was really inspired from this UK's student-led initiative wala education system, where medical student, they try to fill all the gaps they're facing, like participation or equity or reach, like Anish said, or more efficient kind of education. So why can't we do that in our country where we need it actually? So that is another thing. And we're planning to boost kind of tech platform. We're trying to make technological infrastructures like website or a proper recording of all the slides or all the videos. And doing things formally is the basic thing I have in mind, or in a more organizational way is the first thing we should look for now, because we have a larger team and it'll be difficult to manage things when it gets larger. So another thing we are trying to enhance is things like medical blogs, because they are part of informal medical education. We're trying to Okay, so now we have a larger team. So we're thinking of various projects. So first project we're already in is medical ethics Wala module. So we have collaborated with the law students and law faculties to prepare a module about various topics relating to ethics, communication, and legalities that all the medical students or medical professionals can face in their life. So that is the part we're lacking. So we're trying to fill that first thing. And another thing is we're heading towards preparing a website. So I think the tech guys can explain that in a better way. So we're trying to make it in such a way that it looks like we've tried to informalize all the education. We've tried to make some notes. We've tried to make some animations or pictures for learning mnemonics. So things like that. I've envisioned the website to be like that. So that's a difficult thing. We have also tried to make it more formal or more organized, because we have a larger team now. And along the course, Aman has a lot of ideas. He was pitching a lot of them in Slack as well. So different programs we can do to boost mental health or participation among medical students. So that is another thing. And we also want all the ideas to come from students, because they are the ones who are going to take lead of all those initiatives. So basically, the peer learning platform is set ekdam ramrali. So we have all the tutors. They've chosen their dates. So and that is the program we have continued since the beginning. That is how people know us. But there are so many other projects we are going through. So we're also going to take some training from the institutions who are working on medical education. That's another thing I want to share. And we've also recently participated in HLA conference, which was an amazing opportunity to know initiatives from medical students all around the globe. So that is another thing we are inspired from. And I would like Pratna to add a few more things about what we're trying to do further.
So basically, we are trying to increase student involvement in medical education, which is almost non-existent here in Nepal. And it becomes very important for students to be aware because I think they are the first quality checks of medical education. And it comes with a long-term vision of improving healthcare system in Nepal because we always talk about violence against doctors or many cases not being treated in Nepal or many people having to go abroad to treat the cases, but it starts right from the root, which is education, I guess. So we're trying to dig deeper into these layers of medical education and increasing student involvement. So that's our long-term vision. We'll achieve that stepwise, as Mahendra has already shared. So yes, it's been a wonderful learning opportunity so far. Something to look forward to during this pandemic time. And the idea that was so small that grew up with just discussing after class online classes among friends has taken the shape of almost involving many medical students from different medical colleges and people coming to explore, to tutor their friends, which maybe as per the education system of Nepal might have mentioned that it might not be credible for students to teach students. Like professors are the ultimate teacher and you need to have a certain qualification in order to explore teaching. But I think everyone can learn from everyone and that is what um, we are trying to incorporate and it, like we are coming up with future initiatives as well. So yes, it has been a wonderful journey with the whole team. And as Manita said, it's been very positive, vibrant, and I've started feeling more lively.
So, like talking from a tech perspective, Anis and I are currently working on the website. So we are getting some inputs from Mahindra regarding the design and what kind of layout they want, or what kind of layout we all want. And our long-term goal is like we are all working voluntarily. So anyone who is interested, like have some background about medicine and technology, would be a like great fit to our team as an intern. So they will help us understand the medical perspective and combining that with tech, we would be able to like create an presentable website or like any other like resources which can be made accessible to everyone. So that's our goal for now. So we want to like put all these recorded lectures in our website so that everyone can have access to it. And we're also trying to do some events through website. So look out for our website. Like it's gonna be live soon. www dot whatever is that. So yeah, and we are also looking anyone who is interested to work on the tech teams, they can just reach out to MedLife and we will get connected and then work on ideas and combine this technology and medicine.
Right. So adding to what Aman just said, right? We are all working as volunteers. So anybody that is interested in joining the tech team, we're currently trying to build a platform such that everything is organized in that one place, right? You can have lectures in Facebook or this, that, and the other right now, but that gets crowded pretty quickly. So we want to have a platform that you can access it at any time. So you can go back, oh, it's under this heading, it's under this certain tab, this page, whatever. And also we would like to add a sort of like probably a blog where people can write informative articles. And also we're kind of discussing new features, and we'd also like to welcome new ideas from any of the people. You're all from a medical background. Some feature that can make lives easier for medical students, that's welcome. And yeah, that's probably it.
Uh, so it was so nice hearing all the ideas we heard about midlife, its plans. We also talked about medicine and technology and how the collaboration is very important. And it's been more than an hour early in the morning. My eyes are still burning, so I think we need to end this here. I hope you had a good time listening to all of, and we are so grateful for all your support. Thank you so much. If you have any suggestions, please drop in the comment box, or you can directly email us at our email podcastnaihs@gmail.com. Have a great time. See you. Bye bye.